What's up, Jets Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Juicy Jet Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Rooney, and we are here to recap Thursday Night Football. The New York Jets fall to 2-8 after their 27-14 loss in Foxborough to the hated New England Patriots. The Patriots go to 9-2. They've won 8 in a row. They are the hottest team in football, first place in the AFC. Kind of crazy to think about after the way they finished last year, but I guess it just goes to show that you can turn it around. You can. It takes time, but you can. Well, I guess for them it doesn't take time because they just came off of Dynasty and it took them 5 minutes to get back over this. But we're going to talk all about the game today. I want to go through everything from me going to the game and what I felt throughout the game to going through the offense, the defense, the special teams, some of the things that I saw, and talk about what it's going to look like going forward. So, let's start off. I went up to New England. I actually went to college up in Boston, so it was nice to see some old friends up there, which was great. Shout out to Matt Dunn, my fellow Jets fan who came with me, as well as the Seagulls, both Dave and Maria, Patriot fans who went to college with Dave. So, it was a really fun time. I like the way they have Foxborough set up where, well, first of all, it sucks to get to because it's like 45 minutes outside of Boston, so that part isn't great. But they've got an entire area called Patriots Place with a bunch of bars and restaurants and things like that you can go to, which is really fun before a game, especially when you don't have like a tailgate set up or anything like that. So that's what we did before the game. It was great. I had a great time beforehand, and I kind of knew the Jets were going to lose this game. Like, we're just going to get out-talented, out-coached. Like, that's just what it is. The teams are on two different pages right now between the Patriots and the Jets and where they're both at. So I went into that game with not a lot of high expectations, which means I'm not going to get as disappointed or as frustrated or anything like that. So I was having a pretty good day. We go into the game. We got great seats. We're in the 100 level. It was a fun time. It was cold, but it wasn't like freezing. We weren't dying out there. So that was nice. And we were in the game. I think I walked into this game saying, please don't get embarrassed. Like, don't have the lol Jet stuff. Don't be the team that walks out of there where we're just getting relentlessly abused over and over again. Just have a decent game. And luckily it started off that way. The first drive of the game, you march right down the field and you score a touchdown. Not a lot of passing on that drive. There was a lot of Justin Fields with his legs, which is totally fine. Like, if that's the way we're going to be able to score, that's the way we're going to score. That's the touchdown I got behind me here in this picture. So, you go up 7-0. It's like, okay, this is probably not a game where we're going to get blown out. And then the game just starts to shift. We stay in the game for most of it, but it really came down to our defense didn't perform well enough. Drake May was able to just carve us to shreds, and he looked really good. He's very good at going through his reads, and he found the soft spot in the middle of our defense really, really well throughout the game. And I think our pass rush wasn't really getting there, but he could do enough with his legs to beat us. So, it was just one of those scenarios where they're just a better team than us, but we played hard enough to be in the game. But when we're in a game like that, that's where I get disappointed. I'm not like pissed off or anything like that. I don't really know like how to feel about this in total. It's more just like, I'm disappointed. This is a game that like you felt like you were in it. You could have maybe stolen one out on the road against a really hot football team, but you just don't have the talent and your quarterback didn't do enough to get you over the hump. So let's talk all about it. Let's start with the offense. And Justin Fields, I think, is a good place to start. So Justin Fields marches us down the field on the first drive. Good for Tanner Engstrand. That's one of the better first drive scripts I've seen in a while where, we don't score touchdowns in the first quarter very often. So it was nice to actually see one, especially on offense. So it was great. He was dishing the ball out. I think he got Mason Taylor on the first play. Brees had a couple nice runs. You walk right down the field, and Justin Fields puts it in the end zone. Now, I think this was the first drive, if I remember correctly. But I was asking, if you're going to beat a team like this, you got to throw like the playbook at them, throw a little trick play in there. And Fields pitches it to Mechie, and then Mechie throws it back to Fields. Fields was covered, so it wasn't really a great play. But that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. So I was like, all right, we tried. Like, that was good. I like the effort to try right there. So that was fun to see. So Fields scores. The rest of the game, Fields is a mess when it comes to playing quarterback right now. He seems very unconfident. He cannot read the field correctly, and he's afraid to pull the trigger. He won't throw it. And it led to sacks throughout the game. It led to missed throws all over the place. He was throwing to covered receivers. It seems like there was miscommunications all over the place, which some of that is fair because, the two starting receivers we had out there just got onto the team 6 days ago. So not a lot you can do with that between Mechie and AD Mitchell. So yeah, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. We walked out of the first half with 25 yards passing total. Like, this is the NFL. And the problem is the Jets fans are now so used to it because we've seen this over and over again from Justin Fields that it's not a big deal to us anymore. It's like, we had 25 yards. It's pretty good. At least it wasn't negative. Like, that should not be the mentality that we have when we're talking about our starting quarterback in the year 2025. So, there's just not a lot you can do on offense when the quarterback is so limited. And it looks like there are occasions where he will look at his first read. The first read's not there. And then he'll hold the ball and kind of move around a little bit in the pocket just to get enough room to then sprint forward and run. Which is kind of strange to me. I'm like, look at your other options. Like, there's other people out on the field that are open that you could throw to. We're not throwing enough to Mason Taylor. He doesn't pull the trigger and throw to Breece Hall enough. And I get it. Every team blitzes us now because they know Justin Fields can't handle it. So we have to keep Breece Hall in to pass protect, which sucks. But you've got to find ways to get these guys the ball. So that was really tough. Another guy I want to talk about is, and on the quarterback thing before we move on, I'm very curious to see what they do moving forward because I think with Fields, I can't figure out who else is good on this team when we're only completing anywhere from 6 to 11 passes a game. I think we had maybe 15 this game for 116 yards. Like, I can't tell if Mechie is good. I can't tell if AD Mitchell is good. I can't tell if Mason Taylor is getting better or not because we can't get them the ball because of our quarterback. So, I don't know. Aaron Glenn's got a tough choice on his hands. If it was me, I'd go to Tyrod. I think it's time. And you can always go back to Fields. It's not the end of the world. He needs just to sit down and rethink about how to play football because he's so lost at this moment. So I would go to Tyrod. I could get it if he goes back to Fields, but it's got to be a short leash. We can't be doing 20 yards of total offense in the first half anymore. That's just crazy. Another guy I want to talk about is AD Mitchell. So AD Mitchell makes his debut as a wide receiver on the New York Jets. Obviously, the guy we got in the trade for Sauce Gardner, where we traded Sauce Gardner to the Colts for AD Mitchell and a couple picks. I thought Mitchell had a really nice play on that first drive. I think it was on third down, too. Ran a nice little slant, I think it was, in there to get a first down, which was great to see. Then the rest of the game was just a mess. I think he probably had 6 targets. I think he had 1 catch on those 6 targets. 3 of them were definitely drops by him. Now, you can say that on 2 of them, Fields put the ball in a bad spot, but if it hits your hands in the NFL, it is your fault. You got to catch the ball. There was one that's just unforgivable. Justin Fields throws probably the best pass of the season, deep down the left side. I think it was on third down, too. Would have been a big play. Would have put us right into field goal range, and it slips right through AD Mitchell's hands. It was a perfect pass, and he burned. I think it was Christian Gonzalez, who's one of the best corners in the league. He burns him. So he has the separation. He's wide open. And he throws a perfect pass, and he can't catch it. So that's a bummer. There's another play where we're deep in our own side of the field where Fields, I think it was right after halftime, actually. I think this was after halftime. Fields throws kind of he put it in a tough spot where he put it more back shoulder, but too far to the back shoulder where AD Mitchell really had to turn to try to catch it. But it hit him right in the hands. That's just a drop in the NFL. You got to catch it. So, I don't know. You could see why he's a second round pick, AD Mitchell, because he can get open. He's super athletic. He's really fast. He was definitely our best receiver on the field in terms of his ability to get open, but you got to catch the ball. You have to catch the ball. So really tough first debut for AD Mitchell, but he's a player. He's a guy who can play. You could tell. John Mechie, I thought he had a really nice game. I really liked what I saw to John Mechie. He had a nice touchdown. I mean, the defender fell down, so he was wide open. But I thought there were some other plays where he got involved, too. So I really liked what I saw from him. Especially, there was one nice play in the fourth quarter where he ran kind of like a corner route across the field, right in between the safety and linebacker, and Fields put it in a good spot. So that was a really nice pass. I think he had, 3? I'm looking at the box score here. 3 receptions, 45 yards, so not a bad day for him. I need to see Mason Taylor get more involved. I need him to take Ruckert's spot in some of these plays. It's fourth down. We're down by 14 points with 2 minutes to go. We're in field goal range. Obviously, we're not going to kick a field goal. You're down. I think we're down 13. So what do? Throw a little out route wide open is Ruckert because there was just some congestion in the middle there. Ruckert gets wide open. Fields hits him, and he drops it on fourth down to seal the game. So I'm like, all right, maybe let's sub out Ruckert in some of these plays. We're Stone Smart. Stone Smart can actually catch. Ruckert's had a pretty good year, I won't lie. But, I don't need him in those big positions there. We saw nothing out of Brees. Brees had 2 catches for 6 yards. I need him involved in the passing game. He was pretty good in the running game, but we just didn't give him the ball enough. He had 14 carries for like 60 yards. And I thought our offensive line was playing pretty well, so I would have liked to have seen us feed Brees more. Like I never understand where we get in these zones where Brees doesn't get the ball. Doesn't make sense to me. Isaiah Williams didn't really get involved. Who else? I just need more Mason Taylor. Like that's the big takeaway on offense. So offense, I like what the offensive line did. I liked what Mechie did. A.D. Mitchell, I liked parts of what he did. He should get a lot of targets over the next couple of weeks. Justin Fields, he's got to sit, and then we need to feed Brees more. So those are my takeaways on offense. But we weren't a total embarrassment, but we also weren't good at all. We got to get better. Defense was tough to watch. We're just playing with guys who haven't played together for a long time. There's people on the team and playing out there right now that weren't on the team more than 4 weeks ago. You're seeing these like Jasur Taylor is out there getting actual plays on defense, which is crazy. I thought Quincy had a really nice game. I thought he played really well. He was all over the place. He had an awesome sack right before halftime, but of course there was a penalty on Brandon Stevens. I think that's one thing that's really disappointing overall from this game, especially from the defense, is we took steps back when it comes to, I thought we were getting better with the penalties. I thought we were moving forward with some of the dumb stuff and getting that out of the way. But we still had a ton of penalties in this game, which were really frustrating, and it killed us in big moments. I thought we did really nice on first and second down. I thought they weren't getting a ton of yardage there, but on third down, we were just getting toasted by the entire Patriots team, whether it was running the ball, was passing the ball. Drake May looked really good. Travion Henderson had 3 touchdowns against us. We couldn't stop him. The first passing play of the game drove me nuts. I'm watching this play, and it's Stephon Diggs does, he goes like 6 yards and turns around, kind of a thing. Who's covering him? Michael Clemens. Why is our Michael Clemens, our D-end, covering Stephon Diggs on the first passing play of the game? And then, of course, on that exact same play, Jarvis Brownlee comes in to make the tackle, suplexes Diggs, and we get another penalty. So that's the kind of stuff that just drives me nuts because it's like so easy to not do, and yet we're doing it. Just like watching this defense, it just feels like, number one, where we can't get a turnover. There was one play where Drake May threw it deep right before halftime, I think it was, and Quantas Stiggers is standing right there for the pick. It's like coming right into his hands. Tony Adams comes out of nowhere and hits Quantas Stiggers, hurts Quantas Stiggers, and nobody catches the ball. So like we don't have the self-awareness to see where we are in the field and where our teammates are either. So that part's embarrassing. I mean, Drake May just carved us up. That was it. Like every third down, it felt like either a linebacker or a corner was getting beat by Drake May to a tight end or to a wide receiver like Stephon Diggs. So that was tough. I thought Jarvis Brownlee played a really tough game. He just hasn't been that great over the past 2 weeks, and I think it's because he's out of position. He needs to play the slot, and because we keep losing corners left and right, we don't have Azaria Thomas out there and things like that. It's tough. He's in the wrong position. So that was a tough part. I don't know. I just feel like Will McDonald wasn't involved. There was not a lot of pass rush. I thought Jermaine Johnson had a nice sack to force a field goal, but it just wasn't a good game from the defense. And you just got to think that Steve Wilkes is on the hottest of hot seats and probably won't be here next year. He's going to be, when we're, 3 and whatever to end the year, 4 and whatever, he's going to be the sacrificial lamb that has to go because it just doesn't look good enough. I think we're just calling the wrong place at the wrong time. It's just not good. And then you got Tyler Barron out there who can't do anything. So, I'm frustrated with the defense, but once again, we hung in there. This is a game that you could have had. Special teams, I thought the returners were fine. Nothing big and crazy after last week's extravaganza on special teams. I thought Nick Folk was good. McNamara had probably his worst punt of the year on one play, but then had two other good ones, but our gunners couldn't get down there fast enough to get him. So I can't really complain about special teams too much. So yeah, it's just, this is what it is. We're a talent deficient team that put up a fight, but it wasn't enough. So, while I'm not pissed that we lost, like I kind of knew we were going to lose this game. I'm happy we were in it. I'm happy I was able to like be paying attention and not have to like lose interest after the first quarter. And we'll see where we go from here. But it goes to show that I think this could turn around a little bit faster than you think with this coaching staff. It looks like we can stay in these games. The players are trying hard. They're fighting, but we just need better players. Like that's it. We just need better players. So I think that's all I've got. Nothing crazy to really talk too much about in this game. This is going to be really nice. We've got 10 days off from Jets football. I can finally, this is the first time all year, besides I think it was week 4, we played the Dolphins on Monday night where I got to watch a little bit of football. I was playing golf, so missed some of it. But this is going to be the first week where I can sit on my couch on a Sunday and actually watch Red Zone and all the other games. So I'm so excited. I didn't get to do it during the bye week because I had a wedding to go to on a Sunday. So I could finally just sit, watch other teams, see what's up in the NFL, and like really pay attention to like my fantasy teams, all that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited. And one thing I do want to say about going to this game and Patriot Nation, they were a little quieter than normal. Like the crowd was not very loud on like third downs and things like that. I was actually pretty surprised for an 8-2 team. A lot of the seats were empty in the second level, which I was pretty shocked about. I know that they're like suite tickets and stuff like that, so you can go inside, stay warm. But I was a little surprised. But our section was definitely ragging on the guy that I came with, Matt. He had a Eric Decker jersey on, so they were just chanting Decker for like half of the second half, which is kind of annoying. And then I was told probably the worst insult I could ever be told. I don't know what I said. I probably said something really sarcastic to my buddy next to me about the team. But this woman in front of me, I think she was had a little too many to drink. But she turns around and looks at me and says literally, probably this, I don't think there's anything that could hurt me more than what she said to me. She turns around and says, "What is this, your first football game?" So I didn't even know what to say. I looked at my friend and I was like, what just happened? That struck me. And I was like, well, first of all, if you actually knew how many of these games I torture myself with and go to in person, you would be in shock. But like, I didn't know what to say. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. My heart was broken into pieces. And that was the worst insult I've ever heard in my entire life. And I didn't know what to do about it. I panicked and I think I just stood there. So she got me good. I'll give her that. Without cursing at me, without saying anything like super insulting or mean, she might have not known it, but that was the most insulting thing you could possibly say to someone like me in that moment. So I was hurt the rest of the game. I was really hurt. So that threw off my vibe after like the first half of the first quarter. So yeah, that was rough. But tickets are booked. Headed down to Baltimore 2 Saturdays from now for the game against the Ravens. Now, these two games, both the Patriots and Ravens, are not great matchups for the Jets just because of the talent deficiencies and coaching deficiencies we have. So we'll see how it goes, but hopefully we can put up a fight like we did in this one and kind of go from there. So I'll have more content coming out through the rest of the week. I'll be posting all over TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So you guys know where to follow me, JuicyJet25. If you could please like, rate, subscribe, review, follow, smash up that like button, all that fun stuff. That would be very helpful, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.